Did God's plan fail? No, originally, man was placed on this planet here to grow up and to replace the fallen angels, Satan and his angels. And this is why he came and fought so viciously and conquered our foreparents, hoping that he'll thwart God's plan. He marred the image of God, and he did some irreparable things that, in his view, that could have tarnished the whole plan and perhaps caused God not to have his plans fulfilled. The retinue in heaven, the number of angels that worship God and do his bidding, will permanently reflect the third that he has taken out missing. But yes, he did obstruct the plan here. But what do you think God did? Now, um, God, I'm sure, went ahead and created a new planet and put in another Adam and Eve, and then of course they, I'm sure, passed the test, and so God's host is replaced the devil and numbers back to original, and the work of the God is carrying on the worship service, they helping his saints on earth and so on the other planets. Um, Satan was so bent on destroying the planet that he felt that um, I guess he observed them. He discovered that when Adam and Eve were together, it wasn't the right time. He probably learned from the other planets. So he came straight and he tried to, and he set up somehow and got Adam and Eve separated. And then he took her aside and gave her the lecture, and then, she succumbed to his influence, and there it goes. And so, you see, today we have same sex couples, and I have no problem with anything anybody wants to do. They could do anything they want. But this observation here is just something that I think is objective, and I have no interest to, um, castigate or whatever same-sex people. But you see, women and men have different sort of interests. A woman sees half of the spectrum of life, a man sees the other half, and sometimes they overlap in some areas. For example, I was talking to my daughter the other day, and she was saying that, well, it's you'll have to look into have maternity leave and so on. And I said, oops, there goes a woman's interest. Um, but if you're talking to a guy, he's not talking about, man, the highway is so slow, I can't drive fast to get to work, and this fella got a big car than mine, and so on, and so forth. So that usually when a husband and wife get together, he might be talking, I want to live near to the highway so I can jump on the highway and get to work real quick. And she's studying, she needs to be close to the grocery store, close to the market, close to the hospital, close to, a variety of things that a woman would be interested in. Schools, kindergarten, daycare. The guy ain't even thinking like that. Of course, some men are trying to think like that, and I think that it's unfortunate when you have to specialize in things like that now. The other things that they should be thinking about, they're not thinking about. And so you could always. So Satan went to Eve and talked to her things that she couldn't really figure out. She would have had to pass it by Adam to get an understanding of it. But it was so expedient that she made a decision so fast that it was the wrong decision. Because apparently, if Adam and Eve were there and Satan had come up and said, "Look, this fall is," I'm sure they would have resisted it because he would have seen differently, and he would have advised her, "Look, this is that," and she would have seen something that, and advised him, and they would have made a better decision. And so, this other world that Christ created, he went through the same 7 day cycle. 6 days he created things, and then on the seventh day he rested, and then he created Eve some other time. He brought her to the lady, and brought her to her husband, and he, gave her a name and so on. Name the whole same scene, except that they didn't fall, and they succeeded, and so they replaced Satan.